G'day folks, how you going? Welcome back to this week's episode. This week we're going to follow on from last week where we looked at toolboxes, a kind of tools and things you might want to carry when you're travelling around on holidays. Now last week we looked at my toolkit and I travel just sort of like main roads, a little bit off-road sort of thing. This week we're going to have a look at a friend of mine. He goes a little bit more further afield, and we're going to compare and see if there's much difference between what he carries and what I carry. So while I run the intro, go down and hit that subscribe button and I'll see you shortly. Bloody amazing. Oh, this is a friend of mine's ute. He goes camping heaps. So he pretty much keeps it set up all the time. So not a bad little setup. If you have a look here, he's got his tools all in here. Got a heap of water bottles along here. And then he's got a chainsaw up the top. Inside here in the crate he's got gas bottles around there. Looks like a swag or something up the back here. Seating, cooler boxes. His fridge and stuff is all on the other side over there. So yeah, not a bad little setup. Yeah, looks alright. So Pat's equipment and everything's all inside this little box here on this side. So let's see what he's got in here. Gee, there you get this stuff out. What's he got in here? Oh, you know what this is? Oh, it is too. It's one of them blow up bag things. I'd love to have one of these. I almost bought one once. These are great if you're in sand or even mud for that fact, and you're bogged. You can't use a jack under the car because the jack sinks unless you've got a big block of wood or something. The jack will keep sinking. Where with this, you stick it under the car, attach it to the exhaust pipe, turn the motor on. A couple of seconds later the car's up. You can pack the hole in, then let the air out and then drive off. And I reckon these are great. I'll stick this on my car before we put it in my car before we leave today. He won't miss it. What else we got here? Oh, snatch strap. Must have if you're going to go four-wheel driving. Got to have a snatch strap. So I'm guessing these it's probably been used mostly for getting people out, not in. Not getting you out of trouble, getting everyone else out of trouble. So you've got to have a snatch strap. Make sure if you buy a snatch strap that it is heavy enough, strong enough to deal with your car. So if you buy a little cheap one, it's only, I don't know what, 3,000 or 4,000 kilogram, and you're driving a big, V8 Land Cruiser, it ain't going to work. You need a lot heavier one. So make sure you get the right type of snatch strap. What have we got in here? Oh, Jesus. Oh, this feels like an air compressor. Oh yeah, yes it is. Nice long hose. So if you're going to go four-wheel driving in the sand, mud, into the dirt or whatever, got to let your tyres down, you need to carry an air compressor to pump your tyres back up when you get back on the road again. This is a big two-cylinder job, so this will pump your tyres up real fast. I'll just leave it there, Pat can put it away later. What else we got here? This, let's have a look. Oh yeah. In here, he's carrying radiator hose, jumper leads, torch, fan belts. All that sort of stuff is pretty handy to have. Get rid of that one. Bottle jack here. Now I'm not overly keen in bottle jacks. There are times when these will actually work better than anything else, but this and the scissor jacks, I'm not really all that wrapped in. What I actually like is what he's got here. He's got a big trolley jack or floor jack, you know, like what you see in the workshops. These are great because you can jack your car up and it's not going to fall off it. It's pretty safe. These things here, move the car around or something, trying to get a bolt off and jiggle the car around, potentially could perhaps fall off the jack, and that's why I'm not overly keen on them. I used to carry a floor jack for in the caravan for doing the tyres on the van, but it's hard to get it in there, and then there's not a lot of room to actually able to jack the car up. So I've actually given it away now and gone back to the bottle jack. But so far, touch wood, I've never had a flat tyre. Let's hope it stays that way. So I won't get that out. That's pretty heavy. So what do we got up here in this little blue box here? Oh, nuts and bolts. Now this is a good idea. You're at the back of whoop whoop, you've been driving in the bush, corrugated roads, sometimes nuts can come off and disappear. So when you find out that something's gone and you ain't got a nut to put back on it to put it together again, you're kind of buggered. Where Pat's got a whole pile of washers and nuts and bolts and all sorts of things, so he's got a fairly good chance of being able to find something to put back in there again to keep him moving. So that's a great idea. Bag of spare bits of bobs of nuts and bolts and things like that. Let's have a look in here. Oh yeah, recovery hitch to go in the tow bar at the back for either pulling somebody out or for somebody to pull him out backwards. That's always handy to have, particularly if you're doing a lot of sand, mud and that kind of stuff. What we got here? Oh, it's got carries a heap of electrical gear. So he's got some electric drill here, drill bits, so he can drill holes or do whatever he needs to do. Oh, just about dropped the lot. Got his tow hitch here, which is always handy if you're towing a caravan. What else has he got in here? He's got a tyre repair kit. So sometimes when you get a flat tyre, you might put a stick through your tyre or something. Get the stick out, you can put this into there and patch your tyre up without actually having to change your tyre. So if you're only carrying one spare tyre, then you can save your spare tyre till next time and then get away with using this sort of thing. That's a great idea. What's he got here? Screwdriver kit set in here, big screwdriver one. Expensive one, I'd say, quite a heavy one. A few other bits and pieces in here. I was talking about a block of wood to put the jack on. Here's a block of wood, nice surface, so if in soft sand or in mud you can put that down and jack your car up. It's not going to come out with the bottle jack in there. This is probably the original one for the car. Right, so we got that. You put your jack on that there, jack the car up, and this won't sink into the dirt. If you just had that, it's only a small surface, it'll sink into the mud, sand and whatever. Having a bigger surface on the bottom, it means it won't sink as easily, and you can jack your car up. We've got some toolboxes here, so let's see. Oh yeah, might chuck this in my car too before we leave at the end of the day. Nice tool kit there, doesn't look like it's been very well used. Oh yeah, a couple of bits have. So that's not bad. And that's the small toolbox. Let's have a look what he's got in his big toolbox. I'm going to put that on here. Turn him around. So we've got another screwdriver kit. Hacksaw. Not a bad idea. Carry a hacksaw. Probably got some spare blades in here as well. Wire brush, socket set. This is handy. My kit had the long bar in it for undoing the big bolts on it, where this one's got the extendable one. So it takes up less space for storage, but when you need to, you can extend it. Gives you more leverage to get the big bolts off, like, you know, tyre bolts and stuff like that, tyre nuts, wheel nuts. That's the word I'm thinking of. Right, what else we got? Another toolkit here. This looks like it's just for smaller bolts and things. Nope, not. It's one of these kits here. This is another thing I've been eyeing off. Back pocket job. So I don't know how to explain these things. This is like a full toolkit for bolts and that, but just using the 3 or 4 spanners. They adjust to whatever size bolt you got, and you just undo it. You don't need to have a multiple of different types of spanners. This is a great little kit. Like I said, I was almost going to get one of these a few years ago myself. And I noticed he's also got another big block of wood in here as well. So got a couple of bottle jacks, so he can use a couple of different things. So I think quite well set up. Up here he's got his oil and his coolant and stuff like that. He's got this thing here. This has got a newspaper inside it. This is for joining 2 snatch straps together so they don't jam and bind up. Great little idea. Wrapping in plastic won't get damaged in the weather. It's got a what's this one here? A snatch strap, Pat? Yep, so he's got another spare snatch strap here as well. That looks like a new one, that one, so he hasn't used that one yet. Maybe he uses that one on himself and the worn out one on everybody else. That's why this one hasn't been used. I think we've covered it all. Up here he's got a dampener put over the winch cable or the snatch strap. Holds it down, so if it breaks, it comes loose. It doesn't come flying back at you. That's a must-have. So as you can see, apart from the mess that I've made, to go the more serious four-wheel driving or outback driving, it's not that much different as far as tools than what you would use for just travelling down the road or taking your caravan. So I think we've made a big enough mess here. I'll just leave this for Pat to clean up afterwards. And anyway, I think that'll do for this one. So hope you liked it. If you did, hit the thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe down the bottom there as well. You'll also find us on Facebook and on Twitter. And yep, pretty much that's it. So till next time, happy travels.